are working on Word Multi-Project 2. We're working on the desktop support project. Currently we're on task 1. It asks us to add the page number to the bottom of the page. So we're going to click Insert and we're going to go to this section right here. If you're not careful, you're going to think footer because it's the bottom of the page. You actually want to select page number, click bottom of page, and that's where you'll scroll down to accent 4. Select that, goes ahead and adds that page number setting to the bottom of the page. We'll click Mark Completed. It asks us to go and change the subject property to desktop support. So in order to get to that section, we need to go to the backstage, which is by clicking File. And over here, if you don't see your section, make sure you hit Show All Properties. And we want subject here. So we'll click Desktop Support. A lot of my students here hit the space bar after this and throws it off. It will mark you wrong if it's not correct. The third task asks us to display the paragraph marks on this document. So we're on the Home tab, we're in the paragraph group, and we're looking for this backwards P, which is the Show Hide. So we'll click that. Notice all the paragraph markings are now displayed. Click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to highlight prerequisites. So we'll go ahead and select that selection, or select the word, and we're going to go ahead and click this section here. Now it says yellow. If you're not sure, hover, because you might get like turquoise or something, but we just need yellow. Click Mark Completed. And then finally, underneath the syllabus section, it's going to ask us to insert a table. So we're going to put our cursor below that section heading, click Insert, Table drop-down box, and it's going to have us select this right here. Now, rows go left to right, columns go up and down. So it tells us that we need 3 rows by 4 columns. That'll do it for us. We'll click Mark Completed. We are working on Word Multi-Project 2. Currently we're on the Computer Care project. Task 1 asks us to apply the gallery theme to this document. So we're going to go to the Design tab here. We're going to click Themes and look for Gallery. And if I can find it, there it is. We'll click it. Click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to remove the table functionality from a table. I usually hit this box right here to select the entire table. Over here on the Layout tab, again, anytime you select a picture, table, smart art, chart, you get special tabs at the top, which we've done, Table Tools, Layout, and we're going to convert to text. We'll select the defaults here because it does not ask us to do anything special here. And notice that that table just gets converted to text. Click Mark Completed. It tells us that we're going to go to this What is Regular Maintenance section, and we're going to have this numbering restart. Right now it's 4 to 8. We're going to right click here, click Restart at 1, and it begins at 1. Click Mark Completed. At the bottom of the document, it does ask us to insert a shape, specifically the heart. So we'll go to the Insert tab. We're in the Shapes drop down here, and we're going to click the heart. We'll go ahead and draw that. And then it asks us to change the fill to blue. Click Mark Completed. Task 5 tells us to move the image at the top all the way to the left margin. And we can just click and drag it here until we see that green line. And once you're done, you can unselect that picture, click Mark Completed, click Great. We are working in Word Multi-Project 2. Currently we're on the Games project. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and find the Our Mission statement. Put your cursor below that heading. We're going to go to the Insert tab because it's asking us to insert the motto doc, which is a Word document. Insert, Text Group, Object Dropdown. And because it's a Word document, we can select text from file. If it was an Excel sheet or something else, you would want to click Object. From here, we'll want to find our GMetrix folder, and we're looking for motto. And then over here are file types. We'll click Insert. Notice it populates down here what was in that file. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to add the trademark sign immediately after Game Shop. So we'll go ahead and put our cursor here right after the title. We'll click Insert tab, go all the way to the right underneath the symbols group. We'll click the symbols drop down, more symbols, special characters, and we have the trademark. Now you can double click here or you can click insert. Just be careful not to click it too many times because it will just keep inserting that symbol. Click insert, click close, mark completed. Task 3 says merge all cells in the more of our popular games. So we're going to merge all of these cells, so we'll go ahead and select it all. We'll go to the layout tab. Again, because we've selected a table, we get special tabs at the top. Table tools, layout, merge cells, it all becomes one. Click mark completed. Now it's asking us to convert these lines right here, this list of games, and it's asking us to continue the numbering. So let's go ahead and add numbering to it. We're on the home tab, paragraph group, click number. Now it says 1 through 5, but we want to continue from this list up here. So if you see this little quick thing, you can use this to continue numbering, or if you don't, select those numbers, right click, and then click continue numbering. Mark completed. And then this is probably the most difficult part of this project, is we're going to remove this blue background from the picture. So with the picture selected, we get those special tabs we've talked about so many times. We're going to click the format one, remove background, and we're going to use our cursor to actually extend out. We'll move these little dots so we can see more of it. But we're going to click mark areas to keep, and we'll select different parts of this controller as close as we can to the edge. And we'll click along the controller cord. One more. And then we'll click keep changes. And notice it removed the background from the image. Click mark completed. We are working on Word Multi-Project 2. We're currently on the preservation project. Task 1 asks us to go to the end of the document. Go all the way down. Put your cursor there on the last line, and it says to insert the preservation docs. We'll go to the Insert tab. Object drop-down. Because it's a Word document, we can use text from File. Let's find our GMetrix folder. And we're looking for preservation. And I went ahead and inserted that text from that document there. Click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go to the Go To feature. So we're on the Home tab. It's in the Editing group, File drop-down, Go To. And this is a bookmark. In this area, we're going to go ahead and type Sites, Go To. We'll click Close because it's gone ahead and highlighted. Now I'm going to hit Delete, but notice that this period is not selected. So it's just going to leave that hanging. If you're not careful, you will leave that in the project and it will mark you wrong. So we'll delete the period, and we'll actually hit Delete one more time just to delete that line altogether. Click Mark Completed. Alright, let's go ahead and add the footer at the bottom. We're going to click the Insert tab. We'll go here to the header and footer, click Footer, drop down. We'll click the blank line. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my caps lock on because it says Utah Travel Information. Make sure you spell it correctly because if you do not, it will mark you wrong. All caps. And you can double click here or you can click Close Header and Footer. Mark completed. This task asks us to modify Thor Christensen's reference. So we're on the Reference tab here. We'll click the Manage Sources. And on the right hand side, we're going to click Christensen Thor. We'll click Edit. And we're going to delete the 5, make it a 2. Click OK. Click Close, and we've completed that task. And task 5. We're going to go ahead and insert a table. I believe that a table of contents, this is on the second page. So you'll want to select all of this text. And we're still on the Resources tab. If you've not clicked off of here, we'll click Table of Contents, Automatic Table 2. And we'll click Mark Completed. We are working in the Word Multi-Project 2. Currently, we're on the Waterfall project. The first step asks us to go to the bottom of the page, highlight for more information, and add that and make it a bookmark. So we'll click the Insert tab once we've selected our text. Click in the Links group to bookmark. Click Info, Add, and we've completed that step. Next, we're going to replace all all the times that permit is in this document, and we're going to replace it with license. So we're on the Home tab, replace, we'll type in permit, and we'll select license. We're going to click replace all. It'll tell us 0 just because of where we're at in the document. We'll click yes, we'll do it one more time, and then finally it found them, it replaced them, and we're all good on that step. Next, we need to find the table that has month in it, and we're going to select that column, so we'll put our cursor there right next to month. From there, we're going to go to the Layout tab, and in this group you can type it in, or you can just go up one, and notice it changed the width of that column. We'll click Mark Completed. Next, it tells us to go into our GMetrix folder, and we're going to the last paragraph in New Trail Open. So here's our paragraph here. So we'll click our cursor to the right of the last paragraph, it says. We'll click Insert, Picture, Documents, GMetrix folder, and then we're looking for Waterfall here. Now, with this picture selected, we have the Special Format tab here, and they have it flipped here. I think it's to try and confuse you, but you want to make this 4 high, and then it should change this to 2.25 wide. And if you're not paying close attention, you will miss this last part that says tight text wrapping. Now, you can do that from here. Select tight, or with the picture selected, go to the Format tab. It's in the Arrange group and click Tight. Mark Completed. And then it tells us at the bottom of this, on the bottom of the last page, right above for more information, we're going to go ahead and insert a Smart Art. So we're going to click Insert, Smart Art. Now the keyword in this step is Process. So we'll click the Process. This saves us going through every single piece of Smart Art. So we'll click Process, and now we just need to find the basic one. So if you're not sure, hover. This one is, the first one is the basic process, so we'll go ahead and click OK. Now, it asks us to change the size of the width and the height. Now, currently, if you're not paying attention, you'll apply this size setting to an individual object within the Smart Art. And so right now I have that. I just want to show you what it's going to look like if you do it wrong. If I go to height and do 0.5, notice it only changed that one box. That's not what I want. So with this, I need to select off of that, and I usually click this line just to make sure I have everything selected. We're going to go back to size. We'll do height 0.5, and everything else is good. Should be. Size, still 6 on the wide. We'll click Mark Completed. We are working on Word Multi-Project 2. We're currently on the landscaping project. The first step asks us to change the list of the text, the different texts. We have the general appearance here. Now I'm going to hold Control on my keyboard and then select the next line and the next line. I encourage you not to do that, but most of you will try and select them all anyways. Just be careful that you don't select more than you should, because if you do, you'll apply the heading 3 style to text that you should not. So we are on the Home tab in this Styles group, and we can just select heading 3. It says that we're going to convert the document title at the top to Smart Art, so we'll go ahead and select our text, Insert, and then over here in the text group, you're going to find Word Art. This is the one we want. Just make sure, if you're not sure, to hover so you can make sure that what you are selecting is the correct one. Mark Complete. It says below the heading, choose a tree. We are going to start with general appearance, and we're going all the way to height of a tree. And it tells us that we're going to make this into a 2-column. We'll click Layout. Columns. Now, you're going to want to click this, but there's more to it than that. So click More Columns. We'll click 2 up here. And then we will change this to 3.1. And if you're not careful, you'll miss this step, which says that we need a line between our columns. We'll click OK. It went ahead and applied those settings for us. Now it says on task 4 to insert a column break just before branches. So we're on layout, breaks, and it's the column one. If you're not sure if you did it, we do have the paragraph markings on, and it shows the column break, but if you're not sure if you inserted it correctly, you can always click the show hide paragraph marks and it will show you whether you've done that or not. Mark completed. It tells us that we're going to go ahead and add alternate text to the table down below. I'm going to go ahead and select this box so that I have it all selected, and I'm going to right click and click table properties. From here, up here at the top, I'm going to click alternate text. We'll type in office hours. Notice the capital H on hours. Mark completed. We are working on Word Multi-Project 2. We're working on the Computer Camp project. The first step has us doing saving this file as a PDF. So we're going to click File, Save As. And if GMetrix is not here, you might just need to select one of them to open up this right here. You can always change it. We need to select PDF here, and Computer Camp is not our file name, it's Camp Flyer. Once you've typed that in with the capital on both words, we'll click Save. And should this file open, which it did for this, we just want to close out of it. Step 2 asks us to configure UT with Utah. Anytime you see the word configure in these projects and on the certification test, you want to most likely you can just assume that it's talking about the file options. Here we're going to be in the proofing, the autocorrect options, and down here we're going to type in UT, and the next section will be Utah. We'll click Add, OK, and we'll make this smaller so we can select OK. The next thing that this project has us working on is selecting this bulleted list. We're going to change the line spacing. So on the Home tab, paragraph dialog box, we're going to change the @ over here in the spacing group to 1. We'll click OK. We've completed that step. The next thing that this project has us doing is decreasing the bulleted list. So with our bullets listed, we can stay on the Home tab. It's in your paragraph group. You're familiar with selecting this, but you might not be as familiar with doing this right here, and that's decreasing or increasing bullet. If you're not sure, hover. It'll tell you which one you're on. We'll click Decrease. And task 5 asks us to select the Smart Art. Make sure you don't select an individual object within the Smart Art. We'll click the outside box just to be sure. And it's going to ask us to add a bevel. If you're not careful, you might start to think, oh, Smart Art styles. No, that's not what you want. And you'll start looking here, you won't find it. What you want is the Format tab, Shape Effects, and we have, this is a bevel, and I believe this is it. If you're not sure, hover, it will tell you. We'll click that. We'll click Great.